All right, welcome everyone to Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Space Brothers, episode 78. Okay, Hibito. Yes, everyone can struggle and fail and things like that. And yeah, maybe you need to see the fact that some kid failed for 5 years. 5 years straight. Where they were just terrible at this thing that, well, maybe they wanted to do, maybe their parents just wanted them to do it. You know, who knows, right? But after another 5 years, they were putting on a performance. They were the star of the show.
Right.
So, you're not the star of the show right now. You're on a little off-season training.
So you need to go grind.
Let's get back to that grind. You'll be back there in no time.
Yeah. What's 5 years? You get to go to the moon.
Exactly. You've already been to the moon.
You've already done it.
You're going to do it again.
In fact, you're going to do it again while everyone's cheering you on because they know what you're capable of.
Right.
So, it's okay, man. You don't need to get down on yourself for being in this space to begin with. That's a stupid, vicious cycle.
Right.
And it's easy to fall into that trap. So you don't have to then call yourself stupid for being caught in the vicious cycle and then start another vicious cycle.
And if you take that thing that you were told of like, oh, hey, well, you know, man, I should have just gone back out as soon as possible. Then I wouldn't be in this mess. Yes, maybe. But
you don't know that.
Well, right. But also, instead of being down on yourself about that, that tells you that, yes, this thing can, in fact, be beaten, and it could have been beaten, theoretically, back then.
Sure.
So let's beat it now, since we can't, change the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
宇宙飛行士の娘はふわふわと宙を舞った。月の重力に調子こいて
Yeah. Yay!
あまりにも軽やかで無重量空間にでもいるような。
Whoa, yeah.
First time I saw, like, ballet, jaw on the floor.
Right. Awesome.
Okay.
Let's go.
愛したもんだよ俺が。びっくりした。
Well, thanks.
Right.
Yeah, back into the pose. Uh-huh.
来るなら来るって
Yeah.
言っといてよね。
I love that she does that while holding the bouquet.
しまった。今日のシャツちょっと
No!
寄り道して帰るんだよ。
私も行く。
What?
Yeah, those have to get in water.
Yeah.
って言わないね。いつ言うの？アニメのヒビットの
She's such a brat. Like,
Oh my god.
時でも言ってるの。
Yep.
なんだよ詳しいな。見てないんじゃなかったの。
いいよ、あんなガキのアニメ
Right.
Uh-huh.
だけど噂で知ってる。
It's not like I
Right.
like watching it or anything. Baka.
お待たせしました。大人の苦味ブラックコーヒーでございます。
I love the way that this not tsundere is being twisted for the child trying to act like like an adult here.
Yep. It works great.
It is so realistic. Oh my gosh.
実は俺ちょっとした。
Yeah, okay, open up about it. Cool. There's some minimizing in there, but,
ちょっとしたものならすぐ治って元気になるよね。
Well, it's not small, is it, Hibito?
I would like it to be small.
Well, it's the idea of what is no time, you know?
Sure, yeah. That could be super depressing. It could be super encouraging.
Right?
It'll be done in no time, or there's no time.
Oh, is he just going the wrong way?
Don't go down that road. You'll get mugged. Heels. The ultimate signal of being an adult.
けど私買ってなんて頼んでないからね。
Oh
で
my
もありがと
gosh.
うこれ。
Oh my gosh.
ってやつよ。
He's got that astronaut money, I guess.
Yeah.
の10歳のオリガがどうやってあそこまで成長したのか。
だろう
Yeah, when was the breakthrough?
わかるが、実はボリューム1を黙ってお前に見せたことがオリガンにバレ。
Yeah, okay. Bringing that up.
超怒られた。
な。無断で見せたのかよ。
Yeah, that's not cool, dude.
Yeah.
He assumed, why wouldn't...
Right.
Of course Hibito would assume that...
どこ行くの？
よし。
Oh.
おめでとう。レベル1合格。
He just
Nice.
passed the test, basically.
Yeah.
That distance.
おめでとう。
レベル1合格と。
Whoa!
お前が油圧服を着て歩けなかった距離だ。
Well, but obviously I can walk it without it, yeah?
No, but this
So?
is so cool because the glasses are probably
Right.
doing something to,
浦さんならば歩けるということが分かった。
they were just normal sunglasses. Oh!
そりゃ
Nice. The amount of enclosure that he can have around his head.
できないんだぞ。
Right.
浦さんだってやってみなければ分からんところだ。
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Oh!
I'm waiting for them to have him walk in the pressure suit
Oh.
just with the helmet off, you know?
どうだ、
Yeah.
楽しそうだろ。
Yeah.
Yep. Oh my god, he's gonna get into mascot suits. Let's go.
No, this is... No, this is...
This is really sweet.
できるという経験を得ること。
Yep.
Yeah.
And maybe, like, at the start, it'll just be like the gloves of the pressure suit or something, you know?
Uh-huh.
なんかちょっと楽しんでない
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah, he is. No, this is so sweet, though.
花眼鏡の紳士ヒビチョフン。
Fantastic.
さらにはレベル5アメフトヒビチョフも
Fantastic.
This is hilarious.
Incredible.
至るまで共に酒を交わし続けよう。
Yes!
Yeah.
That's right! You better drink!
Seal it with vodka.
What? I saw that! Oh, that's her drink. That's
Yeah,
her drink,
because
of course.
she's not drinking alcohol.
正直レベル5のアメフトの
It's a helmet.
Well,
Yeah.
and it's something around the body and stuff, too.
ヘルメットをクリアできたんだ。これは大きな進歩だぞ、ヒビ。
You know what I'll bet it is? It's the hearing his breath. It's the sound.
Oh, sure.
I'll bet they're gonna figure out a way that they can mute like some aspects of his hearing.
Or test to see, like, if they put him on, like, a rebreather for, like, a scuba suit, does that trigger it?
Because I'll bet you anything it's the hearing. Because it was the moments when he was hearing his breath as it went away, like
Right. And it's the I don't have any more. Yeah. Yep.
you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
ついてきたいだけだから。そして私を子供扱いしないで。
Hate to break it to you, Squirt.
Yep.
ねえ、次の土曜日に
This is not a date.
Nope.
もな15の女の子とデートってのはちょっと
This needs vodka.
ヒビチョフが45の時は私は30でしょ。55の時は40でしょ。
Yes, I know how math works.
5の時は私は50になってて、そうなったらもうあんま変わんない。
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
Sure.
That's in 35 years.
So, you know, ask me again in 15 years.
Yay.
イエーイ
Yay!
イエーイ
Ah.
あんな格好で発作が起こ
Right, but it might just be silly enough to get you past it.
る圧服だってなんかちょっといけそうな気がしてきたな
Okay.
任せると思ってたのか。
Ooh.
時間切れだよ、バトラー室長。
Oh, so Butler's the one out of time.
Okay.
精神障害を患ってその治療を内密にす
Ah, gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
余計な心配をさせたくないという日々の願いを尊重しての措置だ
Right, it was a personal request.
に回復に時間を取ってしまっ
Yeah, it's only secret to them, not to...
時間切れなんだよ。
Gotcha.
Oh.
日々の状態を JAXA にも報告。
たこちらの意見とは何
He's like, I didn't provide an opinion.
朝の月面基地プログラムマネージャーから連絡がありました。
Alright, so the opinion will be from someone who doesn't directly work with Hibito.
日々君のパニック障害は重度であり、
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
かなりの確率で宇宙へ飛ぶ
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
Statistically, that does make sense. Yeah.
病問題に関わります。
だが日々
Does say nothing of the safety of the other
I get it.
astronaut.
This is the angle. It's the issue is that we'd lose our national hero.
Yeah.
我々の評判が落ちる結果になりますよ
And they're
Gotcha.
concerned with all the wrong things. Because he's a political piece at this point.
回復に努めるというのは本来の筋でしょう。
It looks better, and it's probably just... Oh, damn. Okay.
Okay.
おそらく NASA からは日々君にこう伝えられる。無事生還した君の月面での非常時対応は将来のミッションに生かすことができる。だから安全担当部門でセーフティースーパーバイザーとして活動。
Oh.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It looks good.
And
he
it
still
makes
gets to-
sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
but it's
yep.
actually just a way of taking him off the...
Right. And the thing is,
NASAから
if it gets to the point where he can't,
Hi.
return, yes, absolutely. Help train other people as someone who experienced that.
しない限り目立った仕事はない。しかもほとんどの不具合は技術的な話だ。
That he won't have the expertise. Yeah.
Right.
Damn.
ものには日比斗君が昇格したよう
Right. Which is why it's political and...
ほとんど飼い殺し状態だ。
And the killer thing is that they're basically saying it as a way of prepping for the public stuff as well. Because that stuff moves faster than the astronaut missions.
Right.
Because if they then go, why is Hibito not going on the next JAXA mission in the next
Exactly.
2 years or what have you?
Yeah.
They need to have an explanation for that,
Right.
even
Which
though
makes
the
sense.
mission
Yeah.
will get announced. Like, because the mission will get announced long before it actually happens.
Right, because it takes, 18 months or whatever for them to train or whatever.
Right,
it is.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
Damn it.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. That's a fun complication.
It is a fun complication because there's no immediate solution. It's just that you have to just keep going on your rehab and just hope that eventually that will get recognized as being valuable if you can then show a test that like...
Right, but even then compared to a bunch of other astronauts that are waiting to go.
Well,
right?
not just waiting to go, but have never had that issue. Because
Yep,
then it
yep.
can be well, you are good now, but what happens if we send you up there?
Right.
And
suddenly
according
you're
to
on the
our
moon.
experts
Yeah.
that looked at you...
Yeah, even if there's a 10% chance of that happening.
Yeah.
Fuck no, we're not taking that risk. Yeah.
Damn. That's a cruel, but
Yeah.
realistic response to all this.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Even if Hibito recovers in the next month or 12,
Sure.
it might not matter at all.
Yep.
He's about to get relegated to the
Instructor.
the position that makes him look still pretty good for not going on moon missions to the public.
Right.
But to anybody that's in the know, they'll go, he's actually out.
And I will just put this out here. I think there is a potential political reason why you might actually want Hibito to go on another mission, and not because of the whole, safety thing or the metrics for other people.
Sure.
But if suddenly, oh hey, an astronaut goes up to space, and then they naturally have a negative response to the fact that they almost died up there, now suddenly, sorry, even though you survived, your career as an astronaut is dead. Like you're effectively too big of a risk,
No.
which fair. But
No, I think that's 100% a pragmatic thing of
Yep.
if we were to send other astronauts with you, we are saying those astronauts' lives don't matter as much as the political
Right.
implications of not sending up our national hero.
right.
That is way worse politically than
yes.
the political upside of sending our national hero.
Sure. No, I was more just meaning as far as other astronauts of just hey, if something does go wrong,
No,
your career is probably over.
No,
But-
that's exactly what it is. They're up in space basically. If something goes wrong, you are obviously the difference between it being something that goes wrong
versus
from a
you almost died.
well, no.
Okay.
The difference between something going wrong because equipment malfunctioned versus your partner didn't do their fucking job on the drive thing. I'm sorry. It has nothing to do with you, Hibito, with regards to making this decision, but he is your partner.
Yeah.
You bear some responsibility for his dumbass decisions.
Sure.
I think that it's a thing of where the part that's cruel about it is that Hibito is physically and career-wise punished for
Right.
the actions of his partner in this case
Yes.
here.
Yeah.
He did the insurmountable task of saving both of their
them.
lives,
Yeah.
but it doesn't matter.
Right.
The aspect of it being fair, I think, is just it's a moot point.
Sure.
It is irrelevant.
Life
it does
isn't
not
fair,
matter.
sorry.
Well, no, it's the thing of where obviously life isn't fair. You're a fucking astronaut. Life isn't fair that you're up here.
Right.
There are other people that are, quite honestly, better astronauts than Hibito. That is the point that the whole astronaut thing is that the people that actually make it to the top and become astronauts are there mostly by the end just because of luck.
Sure. Because everybody's qualified.
Basically, yeah, there's 100 people that are probably a little bit
Yeah.
more qualified than Hibito.
Right.
But he is up here because he had that je ne sais quoi. He had that little something extra,
Right.
that extra
That
whatever.
vim and vigor that,
that pushed him a little bit. And it's basically, I would say, it's the yay energy. It's the
Sure.
thing, Hibito, that makes you so inspirational.
Yep.
You are a little goofy. You are a little fucking goober. And you're fun to be around.
And up until now, you were the fearless golden child, and so if they gave you any kind of obstacle or test or thing that you had to overcome, you would absolutely leap with both feet over that thing. Now, that's not the case anymore.
Exactly.
And the thing is, that's normal. Because,
Right.
quite frankly, it wasn't
Yeah.
normal that you were like that to begin with, right? And so the fact that, oh, hey, you had to just come back down to earth, Icarus,
Right.
you didn't melt, so good job,
Yeah.
right? You just can't really fly anymore.
Right. I think that this is something where anybody who has been in a pro athlete kind of position and then they get injured, they don't get hung up basically on how like the injury was so unfair or the way in which, oh, I recovered, but I didn't basically get the same opportunities after I recovered
Sure.
from the injury. Say, no, that's lost time. That time is not something you're getting back.
Right, exactly. Even if Hibito were to make a full recovery, even if it were to be something where he could thoroughly demonstrate to the higher ups that no, it will not be an issue going back up to space.
Sure.
In fact, the fact that I went through that makes me better than I was before because now I've faced fucking death, right? Like,
Sure.
my nerves are going to be steel up there. There's still the fact that how long did it take you to get there? Right? And during that time, that's the golden years of your life where you're going to be in the best shape.
You'll be
of
more
whatever,
physically
right?
fit.
Yeah, exactly.
There's going to be the things of where maybe they do send you for stuff, but they don't send you to the moon anymore.
Sure. Yeah.
It's very possible that it's then we will send you on a little circumnavigating the planet in a certain new spacecraft to be like, yeah, I smiled for the cameras before and after.
Yeah.
To be like, yeah, this is a cool thing that's happening. And yeah, by the time you're like 45 or 50, that'll be what they use you for, basically.
Or maybe, now, granted, if it gets to that point, I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, hey, it'll be politically a good move. Just get him down onto the moon. But I imagine it'd probably be something where that would only work if it's we actually have a surplus budget or something, and we're okay with sending an extra person that we don't actually need there. You know?
Yep.
Where it's like...
That's exactly the point as well, is that if it basically just came down to luck that you were decided to be one of the final astronauts and stuff, the idea that you are one of the people that had a terrorizing, near-death experience and you were traumatized by that and you recovered in that regard... Well, don't we have like 100 other people that we could bring up because of you? It's nothing. It's nothing untoward. If anything, the only reason why we're even like debating about this conversationally is because you're a national hero.
Right.
Otherwise, yes,
because you're incredible, and the experience of having someone who's been on the moon before, that probably does give you that extra certain je ne sais quoi with regards to qualifications over some of the other astronauts.
Right. Sure. You leapt ahead so much further.
Yep.
And so that means something. But I would say in the same breath, it's you might end up being in an Azuma position now where you basically, if anything, you might do some stuff up in like, I don't know, some satellite or general craft related stuff, but we're maybe never going to put you in that position again.
So here's my prediction.
What's your prediction?
So he's going to be in a situation that is going to be almost exactly the same, although through different circumstances, to Muta.
Oh, okay.
He is going to be a backup for somebody. And that is going to be the way in which he basically is able to negotiate that, hey, once I've recovered, assuming he does, this is how I can demonstrate to you that you can rely on me. The mission won't actually be in jeopardy. And because I will be a backup person, I will still have to demonstrate that I am fully capable of being up there along the entire process. And, who knows? Maybe they even have another backup just in case during training Hibito has a freak out and then they have to pull him and replace him with someone else, right? If they wanted it to be really cruel, they could even make Muta be the backup for Hibito.
Sure.
That way, like, not both of them can go to the moon, you know,
Totally.
like just one of them at any given time. But I think that's what it's going to be, and then it'll be back down to the okay. Well, it's just luck because we need 2 astronauts to get taken out of commission and not be able to go on a mission, so that both of them can do it. And just like with the whole JAXA exam and him, you know, making the cut and all that stuff,
Right.
Hey, luck smiles on both of them today,
Yeah.
and that's going to be, you know, more or less the end of the show. And then they'll both go up there and they'll do the mission, you know, Sharon's telescope, all that stuff.
Okay, that would be really cool. I think that's possible. I like the idea of him being a backup. I personally just like the idea also of him going through the grind, basically. And it's not something of where we need to know for certain right now whether he's going to be brought back up. But the idea that if the statement needs to be made for some kind of general optics related aspect of this, then they can do that.
Yep.
And then say at some point that it's like, yeah, and he's also going to do this. Because, you know, safety supervisors still also do missions. Yeah, it's totally fine. So they're not ruling him out entirely of doing missions. But it would be fun to see with Muta designing or having just designed something that will end up being implemented to help this side of things here.
Right.
We can have them be brought back into the same spheres as each other, to interact over this stuff.
Right.
And thus they can be space brothers while not being in space. So there's a world where neither of them end up actually fully going to space now.
And Muta teaches, or Muta does the engineering stuff, and then Hibito teaches people, like...
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so their story is kind of a bittersweet one, and where they both basically end up cheering on the next generation to go to the moon.
That would be
and
brutal.
space
But nah, they both gotta go to the moon together. I believe
think,
that is going to happen, but that would be a fantastic bittersweet ending if they wanted to do it.
Yeah, I think that my prediction is less likely. I think it has about a 15% chance of happening, but I think it's one that is fun.
Yep.
I think it's one that is realistic and adult and bittersweet and has a lot of really good emotional opportunities for storytelling. But we'll see. I also think that this is something that they can pull good drama out of over the long haul of the remaining 22 episodes left in the show. Like that, you could get.
They'll be able to get plenty out of this.
this.
Yes, and it is believable that something like this would be an issue at some point, right? And so the fact that it's happening now, cool. I wouldn't have thought that Butler would have been keeping it from his higher ups, but okay, sure.
Yeah, the idea that this was something that caused actual NASA drama is kind of just okay, cool. I forgot NASA is still kind of like a office situation where you have hierarchy and corporate stuff that can end up coming up in this regard, and
the idea that Butler, even though he always seemed like the top of the top, he is still relatively a mid-level manager.
Or maybe even it's that
he still has people he answers to.
NASA is not in charge of themselves.
Sure, they get
like NASA is a government, I believe private. So it's both private and government funded, as far as I remember.
Okay.
I don't remember actually how private it is.
Gotcha.
I remember reading a whole bunch on NASA back when I was like, I don't know, 13 or so.
Sure.
I remember just going on a kick and just consuming all knowledge related to NASA.
because space and astronauts
space
and stars
so
and planets.
Cool.
And, yeah.
Like, I learned basically every single factoid about the solar system, and then went from there to be like, wait, why am I just learning about the solar system? This space is so freaking big. And the idea of, like, where am I most likely to see humans go in my lifetime? And it was just this idea that, like, I was born at a point where I will most likely see the beginnings of humanity becoming multiplanetary or multi-sphere, I guess, in terms of a extra-planetary as far as Earth goes. And it's like, that is so freaking cool. Like, that is so cool. So that started that whole thing. And I remember, I believe, I believe it wasn't clear whether or not NASA was government controlled or private.
Gotcha.
I want to say it wasn't like completely government controlled. I don't know. Anyhow, the episode had also the Olga just trying to understand a little bit more of what's going on with Hibito, and Hibito having to actually talk about it and say what's actually going on, even though he was minimizing it a little bit. Yeah, and in some ways, Olga being there to be her bratty 15-year-old self and being like, well, if it's so little, then just...
Why haven't you dealt with it already?
Yeah, it's going to be over in no time.
Yeah, it's almost like, hey, maybe the fact that you're minimizing it, Hibito, is also impeding your own ability to get past it. Because, the more you take it seriously, then the more you'll actually be able to reward yourself and congratulate yourself for when you do make those little bits of progress, even if it feels silly because it's just, I walked across the room with sunglasses on and now it's in a football uniform or whatever, right? That's still something, and if if you discredit that, then you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Right. And the point that we have with Olga's character being one where we can have her be the counterbalance and in some ways the levity to the Hibito has to go through this and basically go through the recovery process, and it will need to be a very different style of doing this. So once he put on the sunglasses and walked the distance, and they showed all the other outfits, I felt the tears coming on because it shows the patience and the, I don't know, just the empathy of these people in being like, hey, this is going to take time, and you need to adjust your mentality surrounding what progress is regarding this.
Right.
Because you will make progress. That is something that a lot of people don't like to hear because it basically says that, I have to congratulate myself for so little because then I'm admitting and showcasing how difficult and how long and arduous the path ahead will be.
Maybe, Hibito, you need to start, getting people to take video of you so that way you can have your own little video of, like how far it'll go. Because, I get it.
Olga's dad isn't already secretly doing that with the pictures, basically, and being like, you think these pictures are just so I can rib you in front of my family and be like, look at these hilarious positions we got our TV star in, which I would absolutely love to be in this position where it's the like, oh, this guy who's on TV and is super famous and stuff, I got to see him in a hilarious little stage.
Stage mustache, disguise
exactly.
thing. Oh, yeah. And if, if/when, NASA, JAXA, whatever, they're like, all right, like, he's going to be in an instructor position now. This is done. You don't need to keep him there or whatever. He'll be like, okay, make a quick phone call. Hey, the scrapbook or whatever, the photo album. I need you to rush that production. I'm going to need it in the next 3 days. Can you do that?
I love that.
But
oh my god, okay. Other than that, the episode basically just gave us Olga trying to be her bratty self and being like, this is a date, this is the thing, and Hibito's just like, that's cool, kid. That's you keep on thinking that. I feel like that's all I really want to talk about with this because there is kind of this thing. I don't know what it is, but anime can just be like, oh, this girl, it's really important that she be 15. It's like
that she be literally half his age.
Right. Why in the story is Olga not like 18 or 19 or 20?
And there's a couple ways that my mind went with this. And Kale brought up something really good, important, I think, in between the discussion and all that, because originally I'm thinking Hibito isn't saying, no, that's not what this is. And so I was kind of upset and like, show, come on, But it's the thing of no, in a lot of ways, maybe the best thing that he can do is to say nothing, right? And it's just don't feed into it, don't whatever, right?
He's dealing with his own shit also.
He's dealing with his own shit. There is that part of me that's like, okay, how skeptical can I be, or how, anime don't exactly have a great track record with this subject. Nope. So, how does it become turning a blind eye at some point, But the idea that, theoretically, the stuff that you're saying, Olga, of hey, if you were 50 and he was 65, no one would fucking care.
No one cares.
Yeah, okay, whatever, you guys do your thing. If you were 30 and he was 45, sure. But you're not now, And it would be wrong for him to even make a point of saying that now, because then he'd be like promising some future thing or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so if you decide on your own that you're like, hey, this is my celebrity
long
crush,
shot thing.
my long shot thing, you know,
go, girl.
You go, girl, right?
Yeah.
You do your thing. And if you know, in 10, 15 years you still think that, and you know, you end up like meeting up with him and stuff and whatever, hey,
sure,
cool, wish you all the best, right?
Yeah.
But now, well, yeah, now you're 15 and you're just going to be like, I like this person.
Well,
so
right, and
you're not going to be thinking about it.
And it's hilarious because in a lot of ways, Hibito is basically just kind of like, this is funny. You're like, really not a fan of the show. Wink, wink. You know.
Yep.
You're wanting the like. Maybe if anything, I'm with you in that there's an element of when. If we're to make any kind of comparison here, he is in the vulnerable position of basically being insecure and also not really honest with himself about where he's at with this panic disorder that he's got.
Right.
Olga is not really secure or honest with herself with regards to the fact that she's 15 and she's interested in a guy that's twice her age.
Right.
Yeah. But the idea that Hibito is not necessarily he might be intentionally or not intentionally, but he might be accidentally feeding into this by buying her the boots and doing the stuff. And
was it an internal in his head thing when it was like the on another date and he was like, this was a date? Because on the one hand that could be him being like, what? You know?
That was in his head,
Right. But it could also be the like, person's oblivious that like this is actually a romantic thing, but them questioning it does not mean they're opposed to it. They're just, you know, the character needs to be unaware so that way they can have plausible deniability, blah, blah, blah,
That's where in a lot of ways this is something where they haven't crested to me into something where I feel like we need to make a heavy conversation about this.
Yeah.
But it's that the show is trying to treat it as levity because she's a little brat. She's a little...
Right. And I love that they very much lean into the fact that, no, she's a little brat. She wants to pretend that she's an adult. She is not, right? She is a kid, right?
She has worked hard in a task that has made her, honestly, a lot more mature in terms of how she handles herself with discipline and stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. You go, girl. You're doing great.
Yeah, I would say a lot of people that dedicate themselves to a sport or a performing arts thing of some kind from a young age do mature faster because they've basically taken ownership and responsibility over their lives. Maybe a bit on the onus of someone who's older, giving them guidance and direction in that regard. But still, it's impressive.
The whole forced to grow up early, like if you think like child actors or something like that. Yeah, absolutely. That does not mean that just says, well, you know, they're mentally, you know, super mature bullshit, right?
No.
You know, but it is really fun to see Olga do her thing, right? Like, and so I like that the show is very much playing up that angle.
The pose is so damn funny.
Because the pose is so funny. Like,
and then it parts open to show the teddy bear kids shirt.
Right, like she thinks it's so serious and it's like, oh, hun, you know, right? And that is one of the things that helps me because then it's like the show is aware of the funniness of the joke, right? Rather than it being something where we're supposed to take her as serious as she takes herself, you know?
Right. It's the kind of thing of where he's not responsible for her feelings.
Right.
So in the same way
if she crushes on him, whatever.
Yeah,
you know.
whatever. Yeah. But it's the kind of thing of where when someone crushes on you, regardless of who they are or what have you, you are not responsible to reject them outright.
Sure.
Like, this is something that I have gotten into arguments with people about of the, if you can tell someone likes you, you need to go out of your way to say, and kill that. No, you can make any kind of decision with regards to how you handle that potentially inevitable kind of rejection.
But it's their own journey, and who knows what they're going to decide to do, and you know all that stuff, right?
They could fall out of interest in you in a week.
Yep, exactly. But maybe don't buy them boots.
But maybe don't buy them boots.
You know?
Yeah. To kind of make them feel like they're older and stuff like that. Like
I get it on the one hand. Congratulations, you just did something that was fucking awesome, and I know you've been working at this for at least 10 years, right?
And Hibito's getting paid by the U.S. government
Yeah,
probably
he's got
more money
stupid
than he needs.
Yeah,
so,
exactly,
yes,
right?
Buying you boots is basically the equivalent of getting you the ice cream cone on the street, probably.
Sure.
I don't know. But
Right.
But I assume that's kind of why, to him, it was just a reflex of like, oh, she wants this and she just did a really cool thing. Yeah. Why
Right.
not? These people
and
are being so nice to me. This is my way
yeah.
of being kind.
Thanks for welcoming me into your home, and also without realizing it, actually being a source of inspiration and encouragement, because your dad totally gave me that recording without you realizing.
That's the part, honestly, that set us down this whole path to begin with. In the idea that maybe the parents are trying to set this up in some way intentionally by showing.
Because
again, that's just weird to begin with, so I don't even want to think about that.
And in my mind, it's not even the parents. Because anytime you have a situation like this, right? Young person crushing on older person makes sense. That happens, right?
Yeah.
It's always but is this something where it feels like the show itself, the hand of the author is there trying to set this up, right?
Yeah.
Because I've seen enough fiction where you have the shoehorned in romance that didn't need to be there or whatever. We can see the signs for it, right?
Yes.
And all the signs are here. Now that could just be something to play into the joke that, Olga's like, hey,
Right. Hibito will be out of Russia probably in 2 episodes.
Right.
So,
yeah.
this is never happening, Olga.
Yeah, exactly. But, you don't need to have it be some show or something show where then it's like, yes, he gives her any kind of, like, thing that would make her want to promise to wait for him or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
anyhow, that's that. But y'all,
Mhm.
thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. Also, be sure to check out our Twitch channel, see if anything that interests you. We'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.